Anime Declassified is a podcast run by the Anime Secrets website. Check us out at animesecrets.org for more anime, video game, tokusatsu content. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Hey guys, Joshua Seth here, voice of Ty on Digimon, and you're listening to Anime Declassified.
Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of Anime Declassified, hosted by animesecrets.org. I am your host, Rizwan Merchant, and I am joined today by our very lovely, very amazing, all is pleasant, Zachy Miller, also known as Much Hotness Cosplay. And today, we have the amazing pleasure to be joined by some legendary convention owners for a really awesome convention that you should all come out to next weekend, called NerdCon in Mont Belvieu, Texas. And we're really looking forward to having a chance to talk with our good friends, James Chisholm and Jerry Safer. We had them on last year to talk about NerdCon 2023, but here we are for NerdCon 2024. James, Jerry, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing absolutely well. How are you doing, James?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. And by the way, I got to say, Jackie, I love your cosplay name. It's amazing to see truth in advertising. That's all I'm saying.
No, okay. So it's actually based on the 2013 Doge meme, which shows my age to an extent. But it's like, I don't know if you guys remember, such cuteness, much hotness. It's just a play on that, I swear. But thank you. I appreciate
whatever the anime you just named just also shows our age, because I don't know it. So
it's not an anime.
The Doge is the doggy, like the Doge coin, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. See, that shows my age. I'm beyond that. I don't know that.
It's all good.
I will say, I have told Zachy in the past, whenever I remember to do it on time, we will have a summer cosplay contest on Anime Secrets, and we're going to call it Much Hotness Cosplay Contest, Summer Edition.
So embarrassing.
I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Maybe next summer.
It'll be great.
I would love to be a part of that, because I have a Zerg just woke up in the morning cosplay that is amazing. So
that'd be amazing. Let's do it.
I would love that. I would love that. Please do it.
Yeah. So, at this point, we are roughly a little under 2 weeks away from the amazing show, NerdCon 2024 Can't Stop. How are you guys feeling about it?
Well, fantastic. And it's also some pressure, making sure everything's going right. I always say that when you run a con, it's like wrangling amoebas, not cats, but amoebas, because there's so many things that twist and turn and go everywhere. And the great thing is the fact that, you know, James and I are co-directors in terms of, like, you know, all the logistical stuff and the all the things that go along with running a con. And so it makes it so much easier and so much smoother to have, you know, someone who knows what's going on, who understands the process. And, you know, it's like shorthand. You talk to each other and you really, truly understand what's going on. And you can really sort of get through and slog through all of the process without having to have any sort of issues or having to explain too much. You know, we understand each other, and it's a great partnership. It really is.
Riz, let me break it down to you for reals.
Okay.
We are losing our stuff here. Okay. It is so insane in the last week. And I am stressing out big time. You wouldn't believe this. I'm actually only 27 years old, and that's how much stress this con has put on me. I look like I'm in my 50s.
I believe it, man.
No, it's you know what? It's great, and it's all well worth it. But, you know, the pressure to make a show is amazing, and have the energy that we have for it. And, you know, we're very fortunate. We've got great partnerships with the city and the county library and Eagle Point, and our great corporate sponsors and Sonic and Canes and Alter Ego Comics Games Retro Exchange, but and all things Nerdfest and Eastern Rim. But you know, it is a lot of work, and it's constantly you can't believe how many challenges pop up. But fortunately, due to our amazing team, we're able to navigate those. But yes, it's this last week, it's like, oh my God, have I done enough? Are my vendors going to be happy with the turnout? Are the people who come going to have a good time? Are the celebrities going to be happy? Fortunately, I've got Jerry, who's cool as a cucumber, and he's just like, dude, it'll be fine. All
I will say, as a first time attendee for last year, 2023, I had a blast. It was a great time. I came out early morning, hung out all day, attended some really cool panels, met some really cool guests, got to meet Andy from Toy Story. That was probably one of my highlights for the weekend. Got to go to a super awesome movie showing with one of the amazing guests from the con. And man, I gotta tell you, you guys know how to throw a party, man. That was some good food, a good time, good con. And you know, the coolest thing about the con to me is, in my opinion, the family vibe you guys have. It's really family friendly, which, you know, it's still common in Comic Cons, but I think you guys have something a little bit more special in that you can see the family building in the community of Bay Area. Sorry, I can't speak tonight on city.
Mont Belvieu.
We'll just call it Mont Belvieu.
Mont Belvieu. Yeah, you built
Mont Belvieu, Baytown, East Houston, Chambers County.
Yeah. So it's just really cool to see that you guys can build a community where you have things like Sonic and Canes. Raising Canes are your sponsors for the con. Not many cons really go out and reach out to their local municipality and say, hey, we want to run a Comic-Con. We want to do it for what I think is free this year again. Am I right with that? It's free. So, and we want you to help us make it happen. This is a village building a convention, and I think that's really poetic because a lot of the other Comic-Cons out there, in my opinion, they have a bottom margin. They got their own profits they're looking to make, and you guys don't do that. You guys are here for the fans. You're here for the fun and to build that family connection. But
well, fortunately, Riz, we're both used to being poor, so there was never we had no expectation of making money.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Whenever James came to me, I had already done Eastern Rim a couple of times. NerdCon has the DNA of Eastern Rim. We're a free nonprofit con. We do it because we want to have connections to the community, want people to be able to have access in a way that other folks can't. Because, for example, if you go to, say, Comicpalooza or Fan Expo Dallas, you're looking at either $100 or $120 tickets just for a 3-day pass. If you have a family of 4, you're looking at the very minimum, $500+ in terms of parking, in terms of food, before you get in the door. What we do with NerdCon, what we do with Eastern Rim, is that it's free. It's free because we want people to have access. We want people to be able to do something with their families and have that connection. Now, the lovely part about the Mont Belvieu Con, about NerdCon, is the fact that Mont Belvieu has accepted us as part of who we are, who they are. We are their con, and we love that aspect because the community is part of it, and from people that you wouldn't even believe. Whenever we were at the the farmers market, right, James, this last weekend?
Yeah, we were at the market at the park this weekend,
and people who you wouldn't expect were, oh yeah, we've heard of NerdCon. Oh, we know exactly what it is. Yeah, oh, absolutely, we'll be there. Oh, we've been there for the last 5 years. We've hauled people there in our vans. So all I'm saying is that that's a lovely thing to be a part of the community and to be well liked and to be well regarded, because once again, that just shows that we're doing the best that we can for our community, and our community is reciprocating in kind.
Well, you know, I think one of the cool things about what we're doing, and you know, when you really look at the way Comic-Cons are done, they're constantly marketing to people who've already been, right? And we're doing that too. We're marketing to people who have already been, but we're also trying to grow this in a community, because Riz, you mentioned meeting at SciFicon, and one of the things that I truly love about SciFicon is that convention belongs to the people of Lake Charles.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a convention that belongs to the people of Mont Belvieu, of Baytown, of Chambers County, of Dayton, the surrounding communities, and they don't know how to Comic-Con yet. And so we're going out and we're reaching out to them, and that's why you see it at places like the market, at places like the Yepes Vineyard, places that are non-traditional places for people like us to promote.
Oh yeah.
You know, of course, we're doing this. We're doing Beaumont Comic Con and SciFicon, and we're doing Comicpalooza, and we're out at all of these traditional places for people like us to promote. But we're going to places where they're not used to seeing us, and we're bringing that to them, and they're falling in love with it. And you talk about it being family. The first time I ever went to a convention, I went with my son and my wife, and we had never gone, and we had always wanted to go, but it was just always afraid it was too expensive. And my wife said, you know what, let's just bite the bullet. All we're going to pay for is tickets. We might bring $50 and maybe the kids can get something or whatever. And so we go. And my boy, who was very small at the time, he's grown now, but he came in and he talked about Dragon Ball, and he met with one of the vendors and they talked Dragon Ball, and it was this magical experience for him. And it was great for us because we were able to connect through things that he liked and through things that I liked. And when we got in the car, he was excited about the possibility of coming back the next year to talk with that same vendor about Dragon Ball. So it's building that, and that's what we want to do in our community. That's why we want to make it free. I don't ever want a parent to say, I can't take my kid to this because I can't afford it. And so if all you've got to spend is $50, I want you to be able to spend that either getting an autograph or getting some sort of collectible piece of artwork and then grabbing you a bite to eat and having a great day and getting to see a bunch of panels and meet cosplayers and things like that. And so building that inside that community and giving these people who've never seen this before that chance to experience it and see how really cool it is, and really how it goes beyond all this other noise that we hear all the time. It's a phenomenal experience, and I'm really proud to work with Jerry and our community partners, and it's really special. And I think I've gone on about this topic for about a third of our broadcast, so I'm going to go ahead and move on next question.
And honestly, to sum it all up, it's all about family. We connect as family. That goes beyond politics. It goes beyond anything else. And when we connect as family, as a family of nerds and dorks and geeks, we can truly, shine and be who we are, which is the main reason we all get together, right? Because, we're accepted by those who are like us. And we hope to grow those who are like us in a way that allows other folks to be a part of it as well. Like I said, family. Family.
And on that note, I have a friend who works in the local physical therapy community down here in the Clear Lake area of Houston. And I ran into him a couple of days after Anime Houston this year. And we're just talking, and I mentioned I went to Anime Houston. He said, oh, I was the Dr. Eggman's Sonic family cosplayer, which I think you guys... Oh. Yeah, so he and I were talking about NerdCon, because I said, hey, if you like cons, you used to go to NerdCon. And he said, look, man, that sounds like a great time. I probably will go out to it if we can. So I'm probably putting him on blaster. He may not come now because I said it, but it's just stuff like that where you're hitting people with families and they're taking interest in your message, I think.
One of the things that I find so disappointing about so many conventions out there, and particularly with a Comic-Con like Comicpalooza, it's hard for that not to be engaging, and there's tons of stuff to do. But so many of these smaller conventions, all you really have is shopping and costumes. I mean, basically, you're walking in the door, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to go in your cosplay, and you're going to shop. And maybe you meet a celebrity, and you have a religious experience or whatever. But I want there to be more than that. And the library wants there to be more than that. And the city wants there to be more than that. And Jerry wants there to be more than that. And to his credit, though, Jerry does like those religious experiences with the guests, because I think those, we all connect through that, through what we love. But we want it to be a fun environment. And we want you to pull back on, be able to walk out of there and have that memory that was amazing. And it was just something that was a fun day. And when people come up to us and say, my daughter can't wait to be there, or my boys look forward to it every year, and and people are asking me questions about where do you get your cosplay repaired, and we're finding people asking these kind of questions, so it's fantastic. Yeah.
So, Saki, do you want to ask anything?
I didn't want to I don't want to talk over anybody or anything, because this is y'all's thing for sure.
She was like, how do I get a word in edgewise?
As a cosplayer, though, it's so important to hear those sort of things. Being somebody who's gone to cons for 11 years now, you see which ones are for the people, and then you see which ones want to make the profit. And I obviously am just very biased, but I just have way more respect for the people that are there, like, for the nerds, for us, like, not only just cosplayers, just like families in general and stuff like that. Because honestly, like y'all are saying, times are hard. Like, not everybody has the money to go out and spend $150 on a ticket. Maybe this is the only like fun thing that they have a chance to go do within the next few months. And it's all because you guys were able to make it affordable for them. Like that really means a lot. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
We
kind of like
appreciate that immensely.
taken back by it.
No.
But you know, we don't let it drop our quality.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely believe you on that too, for sure. Because you guys have some great guests from what I've seen and everything like that.
Speaking of
Hey,
guests, oh, go ahead, James.
before we hit the guests, because I want to speak directly to Jackie on one
Okay.
on something that I think is going to speak to her as a cosplayer.
Okay.
So, Jackie, when you go to a Comic-Con,
Mhm.
typically, do you have to go and drive in your cosplay and like try to navigate traffic in your cosplay?
Oh, all the
Well, the
time.
wonderful thing about absolutely, and the wonderful thing about our convention is we are at Eagle Point Rec Center, and it is a beautiful venue, and they have locker rooms that you can go into. You bring your own locker, of course. You can use a locker for the day. You can come in your normal clothes. You can change in your cosplay. It's big. It's comfortable.
Okay.
And then, you know, as far as activities, we have not every you know, Comic-Con worth their salt has a cosplay contest.
Mhm.
So we have a cosplay contest that's high energy. You're going to win cash prizes. You're going to win a little trophy that's a goofy looking alien. But we also do cosplay parades.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, we'll typically do 2 throughout the day. We'll do one early. We'll do one later before the cosplay contest. We also do group photos for cosplay. We'll get all the cosplayers together and do a big group photo. We have some amazing cosplay guests, but we also have cosplay groups. So maybe you're not somebody who just, you know, you can spend a lot and have 10 different cosplays. Maybe you want to join one of the groups like Saber Guild or the 501st or, you know, Star Trek, or maybe you want to join the Ghostbusters. I mean, those groups are there as well. So there's a lot for cosplayers to do. And then for family activities, and anybody can do this, cosplayers or any family members can do this. We have a duck hunt, which is a lot of fun. You go around, you find all 30 ducks, and they're hidden throughout the venue, you know, amongst our vendor tables. So we're actively looking for ways that we can make things not only better for families, but easier for cosplayers. So if you come out and you don't want to drive in your cosplay, you've got a place that you can change and be comfortable. And if you need a break from it, you've got a place where you can go and sit and take a break, and it's comfortable. So I just wanted to, because I figured as a cosplayer who's as serious about it as you are, that's something that would resonate with you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've never heard about like there being like a place to change out and stuff like that. I think that that's really cool. It's definitely different. And I'm somebody who kind of like stays on the go. So like I may go to an event and then like I have friends who aren't necessarily into like, you know, nerd culture, and we have something to do with them like right after like dinner or something. So I have to, you know, like hurry up and get out of my costume and be like a normal person, you know. So that something like that would be really helpful for somebody like me.
Normal
Jackie, I'm just going to say one thing on that note. Anybody who doesn't want to go to dinner with Sailor Mercury is not somebody to be friends with.
They wouldn't mind. They wouldn't mind, to be fair. Like, they're great people. I just wouldn't want to, like, forcibly subject them to that and the random extra attention that comes with it, because it can be awkward.
So, shifting gears ever so slightly to talk about some of our amazing guests we have this year, I'm going to pull up a thing so we can all see it in real time. This is what I think is the NerdCon guest list for this year, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So, talk to us about these guys, James or Jerry.
Why don't we alternate? Why don't I talk about one? He talks about the next one, and
Yeah.
we'll go down the row. I think I've got everybody on there. If I don't, we'll catch them at the end. But we'll kick off with Corin Nemec. Corin Nemec is a really cool guy. I've been fortunate enough to be exchanging a lot of messages with him. He was in Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and if you haven't noticed, we've taken that theme as our theme this year, NerdCon Can't Lose. So we really have to deliver a good show since we've been so bold in our prediction. Yes, Jerry wore the shirt tonight. I'm Ninja Turtle in it, but he's an awesome guy. He was in Parker Lewis Can't Lose. He was in Stephen King's The Stand. So if you've ever seen that, that's an amazing, amazing miniseries. He was also in Stargate. He's done so many other films. He was in Sand Sharks and some other things that were on like the Sci-Fi Channel. I think he played Ted Bundy in a movie as well. And he was in a video with country music legend Willie Nelson and Toby Keith, Beer for My Horses. So he had a part in that, and that's really cool. So, Corin's awesome, and I can't wait for people to meet him.
And this is one I'm really excited for. Lizzie Freeman.
All right, so Lizzie Freeman. We were very lucky because I made an acquaintance with a guy named Will Santana, who's basically the up-and-coming rep for a lot of these artists. And we got a really, really great deal with Lizzie. She's fantastic. She's Pomni, obviously, in Digital Circus, which is something that I'm a teacher. So all of my kids, all of them, are absolutely loony for the show. I'm talking about there's plushies everywhere. They're drawing Pomni on their hands. And Lizzie, we met her actually at Anime Houston. I believe you all probably saw her there as well.
Yeah.
And she's such a wonderful, wonderful human being. She's so cool. She's so very nice. A tiny little person, but just full of energy and exactly perfect for what we do at NerdCon, because she has a big personality, and NerdCon's all about big personalities. So she's fantastic and lovely, and we were very, very lucky to get her.
I'm actually very excited to meet her again, because I saw her at Anime Houston, but it was so chaotic trying to go meet her that I couldn't get a chance to. So I'm looking forward to my second chance to try and meet her and get a chance to talk to her, because she plays a really awesome character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that I really want to go talk to her about. So
awesome.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to at NerdCon, myself personally, for next weekend.
Who doesn't love JoJo's Bizarre Adventures?
Yeah.
I mean, with all of the 80s references.
I mean, it's just such a great anime. When people ask me, what are some anime I recommend, I'll give them the staples. I'll tell them, like, hey, check out Dragon Ball if you like fighters, or Naruto or whatever. Check out Gundam if you want, like, a big mech. But then JoJo is that one anime where I'm like, okay, I don't care what your interests are, at least try to watch a little bit of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Season 1 may not be the best thing in the world, but everything after is so great. And it's so worth it.
You mean when he was lusting after his mother? That was kind of an awkward moment when you found out it was his mom.
Yeah, but all animes have that one weird random aspect to them where you're just like, this is why this is anime. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have all the cool poses too. So I mean, it's just an awesome thing all around.
Perfect.
So, oh yeah, I forgot. You have Maya Bruton.
All right, we have Maya Bruton, the Maya Bruton Thor girl. So, Jerry and I had the great privilege of meeting Maya in San Antonio, and we were, at that point in time, we were recruiting her to come to our last year's show. And we had her ready to go, and she was going to be here with us, and we had Keith Coogan, because they were both in Adventures in Babysitting. And it didn't work out. She couldn't come. But we reached out to her this year after we got Corin, because they were also both in Parker Lewis Can't Lose. She played his little sister, Shelly, and we are just really excited to have her. If you've seen Adventures in Babysitting, she is clearly the standout of the film as Sarah, the little Thor girl. But she also gives, if you watch Parker Lewis Can't Lose, I mean, she is really the perfect antagonist to Parker. And really, kind of gives as good as she gets. I mean, she's just fantastic. As a person, she's very friendly. She's somebody who puts thought. If you talk to her, she puts thought into her answers, and she's somebody you're going to have a good conversation with, and I think you're going to really like her. And and she was also in Back to the Future. She's Marty McFly's aunt, although she was a very small aunt at the time. But she's fantastic, and I just can't say enough about her. And the example that she set for girls in that time frame. So I'm just really excited to have her and have her join Corin, and just some fantastic characters she's played.
Was she the child aunt, like back in the 40s, no, 50s?
Yeah, she was the
Okay.
when Marty's hit by his grandfather, and he wakes up in his mom's bed, and they're sitting down there at the dinner table. She is one of the two kids at the table, and Marty says that he has 2 TVs, and they go, "You must be rich." And so she's the little girl at the table.
Okay, got you. I didn't realize that she was in that.
Well, hello, Kitty.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
The cats are always welcome, Saki. It's okay.
Mahoney's a
They're
lot.
part of the family.
All right.
All right. James, I think you wanted to do Laurie Himes.
Yeah, go ahead and do it, James.
Oh, okay then. I'll do Laurie Himes. Laurie is a fantastic actress. She's in some things that surprised me. We booked her because we knew she was in Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you like anime, I mean, who doesn't like Pokemon? I mean, everybody likes Pokemon. My wife is a grown woman playing Pokemon Go all the time. I mean, Pokemon is like universal to everyone, and everybody loves Pokemon. But she's also she's got a Transformers cred. She's also Caillou. So if you have kids who've watched that on, I believe, PBS, they've seen her. So she's done a lot of really cool anime. Definitely, you're going to love her for her Pokemon credits, but for me, I like Transformers too. And I know people who have a lot of small kids are going to really love the Caillou aspect. So I've exchanged a lot of messages with Laurie. She comes highly recommended from one of our other guests. And so far, I've seen nothing but positive. She's very personable, very friendly. I think she's going to fit the vibe of what our fans are looking for. And I think you're going to just really love getting to meet her and seeing all the cool characters she's played, because she's got a large staple of them.
That's so awesome. And then going down.
So Emily Kramer, she's the voice of Pikachu. She is in several animes. James has more connection with her than I do because he's the one who sort of brought her on. But she is a fantastic character voice actor, and I know that she's very friendly from what James was telling me. I'm sure you can add a little bit more, James.
Yeah, she's just another one that's been in both Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! She's fantastic. Again, another one that came highly recommended. We had Allison Rosenfeld last year, and she has recommended both of these people. And a lot of the reason that she recommended them is because she understood the vibe of what we're trying to do at NerdCon and really felt like those personalities would fit in. We really seek out everyone from our guests to our vendors, people who are going to be engaging, who are going to be friendly, who are going to be fun to talk to, who are going to, you're going to have a positive experience with. And so Emily is just another amazing person.
And see, I'm going to pause here and say, it's so cool that that's a criteria that you guys use for guest selection. You're not looking for the guest that'll bring in the big crowds and bring you guys some pocket change to put aside. You're looking for people who are high energy, really fun to talk to. It can make a really good fan experience. And I think that speaks volumes to the quality of NerdCon. What I try to tell people all the time about this amazing convention is you're hand-selecting people not for the dollar bill, but for what they can do for you on a connection level and as an interaction.
Well, Riz, you also have to remember that, our business plan is to make no money, like
Exactly.
$0. And so with that idea...
So far we've been successful.
Right, and extremely successful, as it were. But with like I said, the pocket change, there's no pocket change. The pocket change that we have is that connection with our fans, with the families, and in the end, with everybody who's a nerd, because that's what we're looking for. We want folks to be a part of this, and we want people to join that bigger family, that bigger connection. So yes, the pocket change is the people.
Even for our vendors, though, we put that on the vendor form. We put on there, must be friendly, must be engaging, must talk to customers, must be customer focused. Right. I don't want a bunch of vendors sitting on my floor that are looking at their phones the whole day. If you're looking at your phone, you're not talking to that guest who wants to come up and maybe talk to you about the thing and buy the thing from you. So experience is everything. I'll go ahead and take Jenny, and you take Tammy.
Yeah. Perfect.
If that's all right. So Jenny Holtzman, I'm going to tell you, of all of the people that I have that we've booked this year, Jenny has been so extremely proactive in working with us, and she has just been a blessing to have. If we've asked her to do interviews, she's done interviews. If we've asked her, for whatever we've asked her for, she's been more than accommodating. She is Peppermint Patty, if you couldn't tell. In a couple of Peanut specials in the 80s. She was also on the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show. One of the things, she was also in the Cabbage Patch Christmas special. And she had a recurring role on the Punky Brewster cartoon. So she's got some cool 80s animation credits. One of the things that I really love about Jenny is, and she recently told me this, and I was kind of blown away, but one of the things that she likes to do is she'll put York peppermint patties on her table and invite people to take a peppermint patty from Peppermint Patty.
That is so cool.
That's cool.
That is amazing.
I'm about to go do that.
All right. So the next one is Tammy Aaron. Our indubitably wonderful Pippi Longstocking. Now, the thing about Tammy, we met her at Beaumont Comic-Con, and let me tell you what, her line was never not filled. People were never not in her line. She had people in her line the whole time. And the thing is this, is that James and I were talking, and we were discussing, like guests who we should bring or whatever. And I remember Pippi Longstocking as a kid. I remember the show. I remember people, being just wacky for her, loving her. And so when we had the opportunity to bring her, I was just like, yes, please, let's bring her because she's going to be fantastic and stand out. And she's so nice. She's so cool. You know what I'm saying? Her and her beau Tommy are the ones who basically run the show for her. And she was just very kind, very nice, a lovely person, bubbly, and the right type of person that we have to have at NerdCon, because once again, it's that experience, those memories that you take home, and she's going to be absolutely just fantastic for our guests and fantastic for the show itself. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, she's just the best. She was just so great.
And Jerry, back me up on this. She still looks like Pippi Longstockings.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yes. I mean, look at this photo.
Crazy.
Yeah, you would not believe that this. She looks incredibly young.
Yeah.
Still, she looks amazing, and I think it's just that attitude that comes through.
I mean,
actually, I have a funny story. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, James.
No, I think Riz was talking.
I was just going to say real quick, I watched this movie as a kid years and years ago. And when I first saw Tammy Aaron's name, I was like, huh, okay, cool, Tammy Aaron. Don't know who that is. And I started reading a little description under the Instagram photo. I was like, wait, you guys brought Pippi Longstock to NerdCon? That's really cool. That's not somebody I ever really thought about because I didn't go to that Beaumont Comic-Con apparently where she was there. But that's a really cool thing that you guys are able to do, especially given I think she's having like a new movie coming out next year, and there's like a anniversary. What is it, 80th anniversary or something?
There's definitely an anniversary of Pippi Longstocking coming.
Yeah.
We didn't know she was going to be at Beaumont Comic-Con when we booked her. We had booked her, and then we found out, she's going to be at Beaumont Comic-Con. And so we were able to go out after we had already booked her and talk to her. And she is just totally awesome.
That is amazing.
Fans are going to love her. And I recently watched that movie because you can see it on YouTube. And my wife was up watching horror movies. She's watching people get sliced open, and I'm over there on the couch watching a film that was made for 11-year-old girls. But it was amazing. A question for Jackie. Would you come to NerdCon in a Pippi Longstocking cosplay after you look up who Pippi Longstocking is?
It could be arranged. Yeah, definitely.
So the more important question, and you don't have to answer it, Zaki, but did you know who Pippi Longstocking was before this?
So I watched the movie as a kid, just like kind of how you did. But sadly, to be fair, just like so many other movies, I've lost so many of the details from my mind. So I feel like I should go back and rewatch it to like refresh my memory. But like I was just looking at her and like she's absolutely beautiful, and like you can see like her character kind of behind it since it's not completely opaque, and she just didn't age a day. Like it's kind of crazy. So I could see just by that why that would draw people in alone. But I'm sure she's also just a really sweet person as well.
My sister loved that movie as a kid.
Actually, one of our friends, I have some friends who are coming from Sweden, where Pippi Longstocking originated, and they're going to be actually at NerdCon. They're coming down specially because they want to come to NerdCon, among the other things that they have to do. And so they saw that she was going to be there, and she was Pippi Longstocking. It's not the one from Sweden, is it? No, it's not the one from Sweden. But they know who she is, and they're excited about it as well. So her reach, not only is it in America, but it's also in transcontinental, different parts of the world. And so the very cool thing about her is that people know who she is. And like I said, you saw the movie. Yeah. We all assumed that you hadn't seen it. But I know that people recognize her, and connect with her immediately. And that's one of the things why I was so excited that she was coming. When James told me that we had her, I was like, fantastic. I know we're going to bring people in with her. So it's just a fantastic thing. Anyways, James, you were saying.
Yeah, my sister loved this movie. This is the thing about Pippi Longstocking, is it was a movie that it was empowering for young girls at a time when movies weren't made to be empowering for young girls. I mean, if you look at the films of the 80s, we can identify with, E.T. and Henry, and we can identify with Cloak and Dagger, and we can identify with Flight of the Last Navigator and Neverending Story. And those are great movies for all kids, but your hero is still a young boy. Whereas you look at Pippi Longstocking, you've got a hero that's this young female. And again, this is a movie for all kids, but your lead is doing these fantastical things, and it's a young female, and she outsmarts adults. She outsmarts other kids, but she lifts other kids up. She lifts all kids, and it's just a beautiful film. It's fun it's a fun family film. If you have children at home, it's something you can sit and watch together. And there's a lot of moments where you're like, okay, that's fantastical. But it's a wonderful movie. And I think if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, watch it for free and refresh your memory. And I think when you come out and you meet her and you can take a picture with the pirate uniform and everything, you'll just be like, okay, this was worth it.
That's awesome.
That would be like my childhood.
It would be.
Yeah.
All right. And then.
All right.
Yeah. Marissa Linty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me take lead on this one. Okay. So Marissa was one of, I'm not going to say a last minute guest, but she definitely came in towards the end. And it was through Will Santana as well. And we were talking, we were discussing, sorry, that's my puppy over there making noise. We were talking, we were discussing, he said, hey, what do you think about Marissa Linty? And I said, from Digital Circus? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, sure. And so we worked out a very good deal with her, and she was able to come. And I can tell you what, when I told my kids that Gangle was coming, not only Pomni, but Gangle as well, they all lost their minds. They were like, what? How is this? How can you do this? How is this possible? I said, we're magic. At NerdCon, we are magic. And so we can do magic. And they all laughed, of course, Big Belly laughed. But the thing is this, is she is a very, very cool actress. And the character that she plays has such a pivotal role in Digital Circus. And her masks, when they break, when she's happy, when she's sad, like I said, if you think of Digital Circus, you think of, it's just some sort of like anime and maybe there's not a whole lot to it, but there really is. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of depth, a lot of like compassion and connection with it. And it really deals with subject matter. And that's why the kids love it so much, because it's not just like, okay, so you have, let's say, I don't know, one of the regular animes, whatever it may be, and everyone's fighting and everyone's arguing and wrestling or whatever, and they're like, I'm so mad, I'm so scared, whatever, for 35 seconds. But with these other shows, this, like, for instance, Digital Circus, it really connects with the kids in a way at a deeper level, and it really, I think, assists them with some of the things that childhood can bring, some of the traumas and some of the sadness. And so they see themselves in the show, and because they see themselves in the show, they make that connection, and they can maybe work through some of the problems that they have. And I think that's what some of these shows are designed to do. They bring them in with the funny, with the colors, and they catch them at the heart. So we're very lucky to have her. And like I said, we can't believe that we have such great folks coming to the show, and we're absolutely ecstatic about it.
And I'm just going to say this: if you've watched Digital Circus episode 2. It's a fun episode, but it crushes you at the end. So I'm just going to say Justice for Gumby Gator.
All right.
And you can catch this on Netflix or on YouTube. But Justice for Gumby Gator. Remember that I said that.
It's only 3 episodes, if I remember correctly, right?
Right. There are only 3.
You can watch it they're like 20, 30-minute episodes. You can watch it in a night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just asking because I've never seen it myself, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it over the last month and a half. That's all I've been hearing about on social media is Digital Circus. So at some point, I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, Riz, watch it before you go to bed tonight. Okay, you can catch all 3 episodes.
You got it. I will message you tomorrow with my homework complete.
All right.
There you go.
All right, come on, pull it on down. We got to talk about the big man.
The legendary voice actor himself.
Wow, Tom Muskie. So, you know how we started off at the top here with Corin Nemec, and I'm gonna relate the two here. Corin was the very first guest that we ever went after when we made NerdCon a thing that we were going to bring guests to. So our first year, 2018, we had no celebrity guests. Our celebrity guest was the Saber Guild. And they were wonderful and great supportive. And so year number two, because year number one, we had no money. I think we put the whole show on for like $500, and that was money that was donated to us by the Friends of the Chambers County Library System. And so year number two, we went and we were able to secure some funding through the county, but we didn't have a lot of funding. And so we went after Corin Nemec because a local agent said he knew him and he could get him for us. And we couldn't find a number that was comfortable for us, because it just ate so much of our budget. And so I'd met Tom and Whitney Rogers at another convention at BrazzCon, and they were so nice and they were so good to my kid, and they were affordable for us. And Tom was really gracious and came out, and Tom's been a part of the family, and Tom has been with us every NerdCon. I didn't think he was going to make it last year due to COVID. He had gotten a little sick before, but managed to he was clear before the show, so we were relieved. And so we didn't think Tom was going to make it, but he did pull it out. And so this year wasn't looking like he was going to make it again. He had some conflicting schedules, and he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, dude, my schedule just opened up. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Let's make it happen." And so Tom's back. He is one of the voices of the zombies in One Piece. And he's done some other various animes. But Tom's a personality. And, you talk about big personalities. Clearly, I'm one of the big personalities. But Tom not only matches me, but surpasses me in hugeness of personality. His Chris Farley impressions, you guys will love it. Ask him to come out and tell you how he lives in a van by the river. But he's also really good to talk to, and he's very friendly. And so it's wonderful for us this year, I think, to be able to kind of come full circle, to have the first guest we went after and couldn't achieve now here, and we've got them. And then the first guest that we were able to book, who's been with us since the beginning, is still here with us. And so for me, that's just a huge full circle moment. And I'll always be grateful to Tom for investing in our show and being a part of it, and for always saying yes and always being willing to work with us, and understanding some of our constraints, and just just really being a champion for NerdCon.
I met Tom for the first time last year at NerdCon, and he was such a nice guy. He wasn't, there's certain celebrities, certain actors, they have that air about them, you know the air I'm talking about. Tom doesn't have any of that. He's such a down-to-earth, really cool guy, and we really had a nice little time talking, just shooting the breeze and whatever. So I'm excited to see him again, hoping he has a few minutes to catch up as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
But, Jerry and I always joke that we're able to get Tom because all he charges us is a ham sandwich. So, but in all seriousness, Tom he's so flexible and willing to be our guest, and we love Tom. And, Tom will always be NerdCon family, and as long as I'm in one of the director's chairs, there will always be an advocate to have Tom McKee.
And I will say to all you attendees that are going to NerdCon next week in Mount Belvieu, Texas, bring Tom a ham sandwich. All of you.
Start a tradition.
It's gonna be
that would be amazing. Let's make that a thing from Anime Secrets. Bring a ham sandwich to Tom.
That man's gonna be so full.
Oh, dude.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
And you also have to check out his drawings. He has some very interesting drawings that he sells for a very inexpensive price. So if you get a chance, he definitely needs, some more ham sandwich money. So, buy a couple of his pieces of art. They're pretty cool.
Yep.
And he's a big gamer, too. He'll talk games with you.
Oh, yeah. That's why.
Oh, man, Jerry, you got this one, man. You got the comedy legend coming up.
Absolutely. Good old Bradley Smith, our combo panda. He's also a comedian. He's a guy who's been very popular with a lot of the kids in the area. Folks watch him on television, on YouTube, should I say, and they enjoy him very much. He shows up, and I'm talking about there's like a dozen kids waiting to talk to him, to get him to sign their Combo Panda stuff, and he's a very funny guy, and we're happy to have him. And I tell you what, he's definitely got a personality as well. It fits right in with what we're doing.
Yeah, he's going to be fun, and they're going to do a Geeks of Comedy. I say a panel; it's a performance, and that'll be at 2 p.m. So if you like comedy, you know, and you want to hear some good jokes, I think one of the people coming is a young man. I say young man, I think he's like 14, somewhere in there. He'll be performing along with Bradley and a few other comics. It's going to be a good time. You guys will have a great time, and it's a free comedy show. How often are you going to get to do that? We have about 3 guests, I believe, that are not on the website, and that's my bad. I need to go ahead and fix that. I'll go ahead and start with Mr. Greg Berg. And then if you want to talk about Edward or Melanie, or you can talk about both. Sure. But Greg's a great guy. He is anime royalty, and I should say animation royalty. Some of his credits include, and we'll start with a big one here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was in the from 89 to 91. He did voices on the show. He's known for doing Donatello. He also did Bebop as well. So he's done some great Ninja Turtle stuff. He's also had a role in Transformers, the movie. And I mean the big screen movie. He was also in Trolls. But probably the thing that he's also more known for, he was the voice in Muppet Babies for both Fozzie and Scooter. Muppet Babies. And then he was also, he did some Hanna-Barbera stuff. He was Huckleberry Hound in the 90s. So he's been all over the place. I mean, the guy's resume is as long as your arm can possibly be. I mean, the guy's just amazing. And I'm excited for our fans to come meet with him. I will tell you, of all of the people that we have talked about tonight, none of them will lock you into conversation like Greg will. Greg will go and he will tell you like every animation story, every story about working with Hanna-Barbera, every story about Ninja Turtles. I mean, he's going to be somebody that you're going to walk up and you're going to walk away with a new appreciation for 1980s and 1990s animation. And the guy still managed to work, I mean, for so many years. So you guys are going to love him. And then, Jerry, if you want to take one or two of the others, we got Ed.
Yeah, let me take Tim Blaney real quick. Okay.
Oh, Tim, yes, I forgot Tim.
Yeah, good old Tim Blaney, who was the voice of Frank the Dog in Men in Black 2 and the voice of Johnny Five in Short Circuit. That guy is very cool, very fun. I've met him a couple of times over at the Greater Austin Comic Con, which is Von Wen show, and it was just a great guy, fun, very outgoing, and his voices are so on point. It's crazy. Whenever he does it, it's just like you're watching the movie. He's a great guy. I'm very happy to have him, and we're very happy to have him, should I say, at NerdCon, and he's going to basically just knock him down. Next.
Hey, Laser Lips, your mama was a snowblower. I had to.
There you go.
To do it.
There you go.
Disassemble. Reassemble.
All right.
That's good impression.
Go ahead, James.
It was.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Yes, maybe I should get paid to do movies.
Never know. You can
You
do
should.
it.
Good.
Oh, and take me away from all of this?
No, you can still
Why
do
not
it.
both?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Don't
Hey,
limit
listen,
yourself.
So I'm going to say this, and I think celebrities and I think they have the greatest job in the world, and not because acting is fun, but because you're getting paid to go to a place for people to come up and tell you how wonderful you are and how much the thing that you did impacted their life in a positive way. I can imagine a better life than that. To have people come up and tell you that they want that you putting your name on something means something to them. Whether it's one of the 8x10s you sell at your table, or a figure that they bring you, or a VHS tape, or whatever, having you write your name on that so people know that you touched it, I just can't imagine a better blessing than that. And so the one thing that I love about all of our celebrities is they take that so serious. And, I would imagine that's the most humbling thing in life. So.
No, 100%. I really feel like the voice actors, especially, because they can still almost relatively live like a normal life, and then they come into the space and then they get all the perks, but then they also don't have to feel scared for their safety or anything like that too, right. How big celebrities do, So I love that.
And it's an interesting question, and I think it's one I'll pose at our celebrity discussion is, for a voice actor, is it easier to deliver some lines when you don't have to see those words coming out of your face? Because you look at Corin, and again, this was years ago when he did The Stand. But there's a scene where he plants a bomb in a house, and most of the heroes make it out just in time. Rob Lowe is in the house, and of course, if you haven't seen The Stand, it doesn't end well for him. But in the film, he says, you know, I do this of my own free will, right? And so knowing that you're saying that and people see you saying that, you know, and knowing the action, is that more impactful? Is that harder to do than somebody who's an anime actor who has to play a dastardly villain and has to do terrible things, but you kind of get to walk away from that? And do they ever feel uncomfortable with that? And how does that balance? So I think that's going to be an interesting question to kind of pose to our celebrities.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
And before we get out of here, I do want to mention Edward Kratz II and Melanie Cohn-Bravener, who are also coming to the show. Edward is a fantastic comic book artist that we met at DeGracom last year, and at other shows we've run into as well, and we're very lucky to have him. He's worked on Transformers, on Bumblebee. He's worked on Ronin, the last Ninja Turtles, on Godzilla. The guy has really done a whole lot, and he's very popular and well known in the area. And he's actually one of our local boys too. So we're lucky to have him, and we're very glad that he's going to be a part of what we're doing. And of course, Melanie Cohn-Bravener, who was Lucy and the voice of Lucy in the 70s. And I tell you what, she is ubiquitous, as it were. And she is really, stepping up and going out there and being a part of the community, and everybody knows her and loves her. And she's a lovely, lovely lady. And we've had her at our show actually a couple of years ago with another Peppermint Patty. And so now that we've got her back, we're very happy and very lucky to have her. And like I said, she just can't be beat. She's a great personality and everything that we want for a guest at NerdCon.
Can vouch. I met her last year at, I think it was Alvin Anime Fest. Very sweet lady.
That's awesome.
Yes, she is.
Look forward to meeting her.
She's amazing. We love her.
Yeah. So that's the roundup. That's our guest. That's who we're bringing. You know what I'm saying? Unless Riz wants to bring his sock puppet, and
No,
be one of our extra guests. It's Riz Jr.
It's your contribution. You have to do it.
I mean,
there you go.
I can try.
Please do. Put some googly eyes. That's all you need.
I got you. Say less. So, we have some amazing guests. And from what I'm seeing on the schedule that you guys have posted out, we have a really fun set of panels coming up as well. We've already talked a little bit about Geeks Comedy, but are there any panels here that you think are must-sees and things that you would recommend to make your quintessential NerdCon experience even better?
3:00 actors panel. Hit it, James.
Yeah, the actors panel is really one of my favorite panels, and I think it's the most deceptive of them because it's not really the actors panel; it's the fans panel. One of the things that I really want to encourage is I want fans to come out and interact, and this is your chance. You can, and we're not putting it together in some stupid manner where we're like, oh, you can only ask questions about this. It's really about what do you want to know? Do you want to know about a specific show? Do you want to know what it takes to be an actor? Or are you a parent who has a kid who wants to be an actor and you want to know what pitfalls to watch out for? So it's really kind of open. And then there at the end, we do an actor idol where you get to come up and you get to audition for our actors, and you get one line because that's all you sometimes get as an actor. And they're going to tell you how believable you were in that. It's always a lot of fun. And we give out prizes during that panel. So the actors panel is a must. Riz, I think you attended last year's actors panel.
Yeah, I did. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of my favorites. And of course, there's a lot of really cool panels to be excited about. I think people are going to really love the ghost hunting beauties. They look like living Barbie dolls, and yet they do all this scary stuff. I also think people are going to really get a kick out of the 80s awesomeness. We're going to ask some of our cosplay guests from the various fan groups to kind of sit on that. It's going to be run by Marie McClendon. And Marie is just, she's fantastic. She's one of my most trusted friends that I have on panels when I'm leading them. I trust her to run panels, and she's going to do a great job.
She has good people all about her. I was on a panel with her last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marie's just fantastic. I would not do, when I go to a convention, I always, obviously, if I'm leading a panel, Jerry's on it with me. But I always ask Marie, and if Marie's available, she's always on it with us as well.
If I remember correctly, Riz, you've been on a panel with us on a few occasions.
Yeah, he was at Comic Palooza with us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, who's being humble now up there, sir?
Comic Palooza is the only time nowadays I can convince my wife to let me go do panels. She's like, no, I ain't working this stuff by myself anywhere else. I'm gonna let you do Comic Palooza so you can promote up some NerdCon. But yeah. So, but we've done a lot of great panels, and Riz, you were an amazing guest to have on a panel. Jerry's always incredibly solid because, that's the thing about Jerry and I. We kind of balance each other out. We're like the yin and the yang. I'm the yin, by the way. And but I'm like, I've got all this personality that's like I'm the carnival barker, but Jerry's the real thought-provoked poet who's gonna have the deep thought answers. Where I'm gonna be like, did you see that scene where the dude, the guy pulled the other guy's finger, and Jerry's gonna be like, he's much more into the thought process, where I'm out for the cheap laugh. So it's all good. We balance each other. Any panels you think they should check out, Jerry? Because I'm like,
Well, I did want to mention one thing about the actors panel. The thing is that it's not set up in a way that most actors panels are, because the actors not only start interacting with the guests, but they interact with each other. And that's one of the best parts, because they start having discussions amongst each other. And these are folks who've maybe never met or only met in passing. And the things that they discuss and the connections that they have with each other makes it so compelling and so much fun. And it really sort of catches your attention, because you're expecting, oh well, yeah, my favorite time that I did this voice or whatever, but really it isn't. They really get into the subject matter. They get into the meat of everything, and so that's one of the really cool things about that panel. But I do have to say that we do have some fantastic panels, and all of our panels are always fun. And one of the things I'm kind of interested in watching is the Bigfoot on the big screen panel. I think that's one of the cool ones that we have this year that really stands out to me, besides the ghost hunting beauties. And I'm very excited for that one. So hopefully I'll have a couple of minutes to dip in between, running here and there and everywhere like we always do. James and I catch each other in passing. We're like, hey, how's everything going? It's going okay. See you later. Bye. And
I've seen it happen in person. It's a real thing.
Say it again.
I've seen this happen in person, where I see y'all pass each other, give it a quick fist bump, and move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Understandable.
But like I said, I really think that's going to be, we're going to have some just a fun time. And the fact that we have both of our panel rooms this year, which I'm very glad about, because it was iffy there for a couple of minutes, but we were able to pull it through. And like I always feel, in terms of NerdCon, the more panels, the better, because it helps, it gives something for people to go and watch, and it diversifies things. So let's say you're not so much into 80s awesomeness, although I don't know why, but the authors panel and the word building are there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can check that one out instead. And the diversity of panels allows us to be able to give things to our fans, to our people that come and be a part of our show, and allows them to be able to connect in a way that maybe other shows do not. Because we have a lot of panels for the size of show that we are, and only being one day. Whereas other shows, they might have like 5 panels the whole day. You know what I'm saying? And, we have, how many do we have, James? We have what? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, God. We got 6, it looks like, in the big room, and I think we've got 5 in the smaller room. So
like 11?
11 panels.
Like 11. We have 11 panels at a one-day show.
And,
what I'm saying?
Like,
10 to 6.
Yeah, if you're into like writing and things like that, and you want to create story, the authors panel, Kings and Queens of World Building, that's actually going to be hosted by our county librarian Molly McGinty, and some of our fantastic authors are going to be on that, and you just need to come out and check it out. Or if you have a youngster who's into that, they want to write, it's always good to be able to get those tips from the experts. I think we've covered most of these. The Comic-Con Adventures. That's from Mom Borelli. She'll be leading that one. And she's going to talk about her experience at comic conventions. We do have one change. We are unfortunately not going to be able to host the air guitar, but we are looking at some other options. We may turn that into a cosplay karaoke. You don't have to be in cosplay, but a karaoke panel. something of that nature. If not that, then we'll end up doing a game show. It just depends on how the logistics work out. But we're going to have something in that space that's going to be fun, and that's going to be interactive and something for you to attend. And we are sad that we won't be able to do the air guitar because, let's be honest, anybody who had a radio in the 80s and a mirror has air guitared. So I think it'll be, but we'll do something fun in that space. And again, we're kind of sad that one, the gentleman who's going to host it for us won't be available, but it's going to be a great time. And then our cosplay contest, which is always high energy. We're going to have cash prizes for the adult winners, plus they're going to get a little trophy. And then the kids are going to get Sonic gift cards. The winners of the kids contest are going to get Sonic gift cards, courtesy of Sonic Mont Belvieu and Sonic Baytown. They are very, very good to us, and they're going to take care of these great kids and give them some good food to go home with.
Not to be confused with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not to be confused with Sonic the Hedgehog, though. He would probably eat some of their tater tots.
Yeah. I will say, I attended the cosplay contest last year, and it was a lot of fun. And what they haven't mentioned about a contest is how into the contest the attendees are. I don't fully remember what cosplay was last year, but there's one cosplay that somebody had done, and every single kid in the room was screaming for that cosplayer to win. And it just became a huge thing. Like, they were chanting, they were jumping up and down. It was really cool to see this community of people bond together, trying to will their way to have their favorite person, I guess it's a friend of theirs, win the contest.
I think last year's winner was Craig Irwin. He is if you haven't met him, he is a mountain of a man, and but his cosplays are always on point.
Exactly. This guy had a full armor thing that was at least 6.5 feet tall.
Oh wow!
But we had some other incredibly cool cosplays. We had somebody do Weird Al.
Yeah.
And I mean, who thinks, I'm going to go to a Comic-Con and I'm going to be Weird Al? And we had we had just some amazing cosplays, and it never fails to amaze me the things that folks come up with and the creativity that they come up with. And Jerry and I were fortunate enough to be out at the Gulf Coast Toy Show a couple of weeks ago, and we were guest judges for their cosplay contest, and the creativity that we saw for some of those folks was just flat out amazing. And I can't say enough about their awesome craftsmanship. But not only that, it's how people embrace their characters and how they aren't just wearing this uniform. They become that person. And that's the ones that I love to see, the craftsmanship and the details. But I also want to see when you walk out on that stage that you own that stage.
Oh, yeah.
And that means so much when people do that.
And by the way, we were also proselytizing those folks to come to NerdCon because they had some absolutely fantastic homemade costumes that just, like James said, they were incredible. One thing about Mr. Irwin, I wanted to mention that he was at the very first NerdCon with us in a library. He was dressed as Cyborg, I believe, and as James said, he was a mountain of a guy. And this dude he makes everything from scratch. I mean, he's pounding and he's getting metal hammers to knock the metal together and to put it all into one piece. Is just fantastic and amazing. Now, I have one more thing to say. For that 2:30 panel that we're not going to be able to do the air guitar, maybe we can do Riz's sock puppet,
Hey, I'll weigh in.
I mean,
and all you have to do is get behind the table and just put your hand up and go like, "Hi, I'm Riz's friend, Willie."
The kids will love it.
And that concludes things that won't happen at NerdCon.
Because I'll be at the actors panel hanging out.
And I will say this, we do stagger them so you can see a little bit of everything. Yeah. If you just wanted to bounce back and forth between the rooms all day, although you're going to miss so much on the floor because we do so much on the floor. But I will say our cosplay contest, we've got some great judges this year. We've got Itachi cosplay, Itachi 4811. She is out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. She is flat out amazing. And her cosplays last year. She was a space Barbie. Unfortunately, Lil can't join us this year. I need to take her down. I am as a web designer, I have so many things I have to do, but I have not fixed it. But her cosplay is just flat out great, and she's a great champion for the show. She comes out and drives in from Louisiana to do all our commercials, so absolutely love her. We're also going to have, and I'm going to butcher her cosplay name, Asbel Craig Cosplay. We're just going to call her
Elizabeth.
Come on down. And you can see some of her great cosplays. She is a NerdFest admin. She's one of the first cosplayers I ever got to join our group, our Facebook group, NerdFest, which is highly interactive social media group. Although I have, as NerdCon's gotten closer, I've fallen off on some of my duties lately. But she's coming in from Colorado to be a part of the show. And not pictured there on the website, which I'm going to make a correction on, is Yukita Cosplay. And Yukita, more than any human being I know, embodies her cosplay. Mm-hmm. She is just so I talk about the people who bring their characters to life. That's Yukita. Whether she's doing, Jubilee from X-Men, or, she's doing the
Black
one
Canary
character from Encanto. She just really embodies her character, and she does cosplay with a love. And I think they all do. I mean, when you look at Itachi and, her, obviously she's a great craftsman. Yeah. And she's great with makeup, but there is a joy in becoming those characters. And so when Tachi first came, she was giving away, I think she gave away fans, or she gave away, she gave away headbands or something that to all the fans that came to visit her. Last year, she did a whole Space Barbie thing that was just amazing, and just never fails to amaze me, the creative stuff that they come up with. So
I am blown away by her cosplay for next weekend. I've been given some sneak peek photos of it, and it is absolutely amazing.
And for the record, it's not next weekend, it's the following weekend, the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my sense of time is off with the amount of traveling I've been doing lately.
It's because you're an astronaut. You're at a different place in the space-time continuum.
It's true. It's all true.
He gets a pass.
Yeah.
Hey, Riz, I think we have more than well over doubled.
Oh, yeah, definitely more than doubled it.
Your 25 minutes?
Yeah, we did.
Oops.
That's what you get when you invite the biggest mouth in Comic-Con onto your show.
Look,
and then there's me as well.
I budgeted it out. I didn't say it, but I knew it was going to be like an hour long. I said 20 minutes, so we didn't go to 3 hours.
Yeah, he tried to limit me, but that doesn't work very well. That doesn't work because I'm so talky.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's because I have such great passion for what we do. And
yeah.
I'm very fortunate. Again, I just want to close on saying that, the Chambers County Library System have been amazing partners. And although they're not to the forefront the way Jerry and I are, they really make this thing go. They take care of all of the legwork. They book celebrities as far as flights and things of that nature for us. They print up materials that we need. So Jerry and I can kind of go out and be the front people. The city of Mont, Belvieu, and Eagle Point have been amazing hosts and such a beautiful venue, and we're so lucky to have that great partnership. And I get to work with, every day with the person who might be the single greatest Comic-Con director in all of the Houston/Southeast Texas area, and Jerry Schaefer. And he brings such great passion for this. And he's good at all of the things I'm not good at, and all of the things that I think I'm Michael Jordan at. He's still Clyde Drexler. So I mean, it's just a great partnership, and I'm very fortunate to have such a great yang to my yin.
Definitely, and it's always such a pleasure to have you both on here. I love being able to interact with you guys at different comics and shows, and just get to meet you guys and hang out for a little while.
And hey, Riz, your show is the best show. Like, we enjoy hanging out with you. We enjoy talking with you at the things. And now we got to meet Jackie, and how awesome is she?
Oh, Jackie is amazing.
Nah, thanks for letting me join, guys.
If you ever want to leave the show and come work for a great show, I'll double what Riz paid you tonight. So
why not both? Why am I limiting myself?
Hey, Jackie.
Hmm?
Jackie,
Mm-hmm.
Are you coming to NerdCon?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I told Riz a while back.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have...
you have to say.
What's that?
Oh,
There's
sorry?
a line you have to deliver. You have to say, "I'm Jackie, and I'll see you at NerdCon." That's what you. That's that. Everybody has to say that.
Okay. When do you want me to say it though?
Now,
Now.
Now's a great time.
Okay. I'm Jackie, and I'll see you at NerdCon.
beautiful.
Good.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
this is exciting.
It really was. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at NerdCon on November 16th in Mount Belvieu, Texas. Anime Secrets is
Say
looking
the
at...
line.
Hi, I'm Rizwan Merton, part of AnimeSecrets.org, and I'll see you guys at NerdCon next weekend. We're going to clip all this and put it out there on YouTube or something as a separate little clip. 2 weekends. 2 weekends. You know what? I'll do it again, Zeri. Hi,
Thank you.
I'm Rizwan Merton, and I will see you guys at NerdCon in Mount Belvieu, Texas in 2 weeks from now. Get ready.
With your sock puppet.
With my sock puppet.
There you go.
I don't know where the sock puppet idea came from, but I'm so into this.
Dude, I'm just telling you, man. You need to bring it.
I might have
Movie
to.
ads and everything.
But I will tell you that, as far as I know, we will have 3 of us from Anime Secret staff at NerdCon in 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
So we're
When you
forward
get there,
to it.
make sure that you get a press pass.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very exclusive. Only people who say they're part of the press get them. Make sure you get a press pass and tell people, hey, I'm Riz with Anime Secrets, and I'd like to interview you.
Yeah.
Yes. This concludes
So-
my portion of speaking.
But Zeri, James, great to have you guys on again. Saki, thanks for being here and helping me stay sane while I recover from my flight. But it's appreciated. But yeah, we are Anime Declassified Podcast, hosted by AnimeSecrets.org. Definitely check us out on our YouTube or Spotify or Apple iTunes or wherever you happen to listen to podcasts at. We don't limit you guys. You guys limit yourselves. But until next time, take it easy, y'all, and we'll see you later.